Hello, I'm James A. Went, author of the Disposable Children series of books. This book, Disposable Children 3, Facing the Darkness, is the third and so far last book in the series. Now, I do intend to eventually write a fourth, but haven't really started that project yet, not seriously. In this book, I take the main character, Anthony Banquin, into adulthood. It starts out right where book 2 ends, with him starting high school with a whole closet full of thousands of dollars worth of drugs that he had inherited from his friends after they had passed away. Anthony Banquin, angry, desperate, enraged, gradually sinks deeper and deeper into a life of crime, drugs, and violence, finding his place in that world coming almost naturally, organically, almost as if he was born to it. He just falls deeper and deeper down this rabbit hole. All the while thinking that he has to find a way back out, desperately looking all the while for a way to build a normal life. But the truth be told, the truth he wouldn't even tell to himself, the real reason he's embracing this life of crime and violence is because of the rage burning inside of him. His desperate need to hurt somebody as a result of the childhood that he led is what drags him deeper into this life of crime, not any act that he, not the idea that he doesn't really have any other choices, because we all have choices in life. However, as Anthony Banquin sinks deeper into this life and looks more and more desperately to get the drugs, violence, and crime under control and to get some type of control over his life, he finds that his true worst enemy isn't even himself. It's a madness which he watched as the seeds of it was sown and it spread across this country in the form of a mass hysteria, the Satanic Panic. And that's the real thrust of this book. I lived through the Satanic Panic. I watched as it grew from a seed being planted in the psyche of our nation's psyche by a handful of religious extremists and nuts like my parents, into a tidal wave of mass hysteria that was ruining lives all across this country. Now, we've all heard about some of the bigger cases like the McMillan Daycare Center and so on and so forth, but smaller dramas like this were playing out in every little town in this country, coast to coast. I watched as it destroyed life after life after life. And to this date, the people responsible for fanning those flames of hysteria have never been held accountable on any level. Now, granted, Geraldo apologized for his part in it, but that's all. He gave a little 3-minute blurb on TV apologizing for his part in fanning the flames of the mass hysteria. And that's what really happened. How did the Satanic Panic become the national phenomenon that it did? Every day we'd come home from school and turn on the TV, and there was Oprah fanning the flames of the Satanic Panic. She'd have some kids on there, that troubled teens, dressed in black with earrings, that were into Wicca or this, that, or the other. Occasionally she'd even do shows on legit Satanism, and talking about the dangers of heavy metal music. And it wasn't just Oprah, Sally Jesse Raphael, Geraldo, Donahue. These shows ran back to back to back to back, and every week it was the same thing. The devil and heavy metal music is out to corrupt your kids and destroy our way of life. It was nonstop. The news networks all got into the act. The news was broadcasting news reports about how dangerous this music was. You had the PMRC, I believe, the Parents Concerned Committee that got the stickers on the albums eventually. They went so far as to have hearings before Congress talking about banning heavy metal music. And yes, that was the initial point of the conversation before they realized that the public wasn't with them and they were losing. I mean, you can look on YouTube and find the classic cuts of like Dee Snider and Frank Zappa and some of these others just making absolute fools of them. While our former vice president's wife, which is one of the main reasons why I absolutely refused to ever vote for the man, was because of these hearings and because of the crap that his wife had pulled. But this hysteria was whipped into an absolute frenzy, and real lives were destroyed as a result of it. And in this book, I make a serious attempt to show exactly how that hysteria spread and grew and what it was like actually living through the Satanic Panic. It was not a fun experience. And unfortunately, I'm seeing a large segment of our population trying to return to that same kind of hysteria. Read the book. Learn something. The past isn't what most people are trying to make it out to be. Open your eyes. Look for yourself. Thank you.